Hey Lewis, hope you're having an awesome day. So I'm making this video to give you feedback on your comment for the niche statement and your main challenge. First of all, well done on getting this far. This is one of the biggest steps really, is identifying what you want to do, what you want to sell, who you want to sell it to, what are the benefits, and so on. So you've done that part, and I'll read through your niche statement and give you some feedback on it. My robotic process automation RPA services take small business owners from wasting hours on repetitive manual tasks to having streamlined processes that save them up to 40 hours per month, letting them focus on growth and revenue without hiring excess staff and dealing with inefficient systems. By doing this, they avoid the frustrations and costs of inefficiency and gain thousands of dollars in save time annually. And you said your biggest challenge right now is that you're not entirely sure how to develop the commercial side of it into a service. You know how it works and you know how to complete the process, but the marketing of such a service is just plain confusing. So totally understand where you're coming from. My hope is that through this video, you'll get some really good clarity on what clear action steps you can do next. So first things first is I like the niche statement. It's very specific. The only thing I could say that can be improved is this part here, small business owners. So small business owners can be quite broad. Are you referring to small information service providers, or small software companies, or small local businesses, or small coaching companies? All of those companies would have different problems in terms of the types of repetitive tasks and manual tasks that are doing. By going one or two levels deeper, so rather than saying small business, if you could say something along the lines of, like a coaching company with 50 to 200 staff, that is much more specific, and then you can make that'll make the rest of your messaging and your offer much more relevant to them as well. So that's the first thing I would say. Once you've identified that, the next thing is to find out where do they hang out, where do these people spend time. You need to find out, okay, I want to get in touch with the founder, or what's the typical role that someone would hire your services for. Are they a chief technical officer? You need to think of that first. And then find out where do they spend time. Do they spend time on LinkedIn? If it's a coaching company, for example, that's what we target. We find coaches spend a lot of time on LinkedIn. They also spend time on Facebook groups. If it's local businesses, then they don't spend time in these places. They spend time in physical networking events. So that's why it's important to understand who exactly you're targeting. If it's small software companies, for example, again, LinkedIn is great. Facebook groups are great. LinkedIn and Facebook groups are great for most places, I would say. I personally prefer LinkedIn because you can use Sales Navigator and really get granular data in terms of who's online, who's active on LinkedIn, who's been posting the last 30 days, who has job openings. And you can use these as triggers to identify, okay, this company or this person might be a good prospect for me to speak to and sell my services. So that's the second thing. Identify where this, first is identify who you're going to sell to, coaching companies or local businesses or software companies or e-com brands or whatever it is. Be very specific, and even go one layer deeper, I would say. I find this number to be like a sweet spot if you're just starting out. These companies, if they have 50 to 200 staff, then they are big enough to afford your high ticket services, as in you can charge 5K, 10K, 20K per implementation of your automation services, and they can afford it. Whether it's through one payment or split payments, that's something you can discuss with them once you've had the conversation and they've seen the value and they want to go ahead with the sale. So that's one benefit of knowing all of this stuff up front. Once you know where they hang out, let me move this to the side. You need to identify what are the buying triggers. So what are the things that are happening in their business right now that will make them say, okay, I need Lewis's services. I need some automation in my company. What would make them say that? So here's a typical example. If they are making a lot of job posts, so they're posting a lot of jobs, there is a good chance they need to automate a lot of the processes, because some of the job postings might be completely not relevant. They might not need that particular job role if that task can be automated completely, and that itself would save them, I don't know, however many 40 hours per week, which is a huge saving. If that would save them, even if it saves them like the role of one part-time role, that's like 50 to 60k per year, depending on the role itself, in savings. So, and if you charge only like 5,000, then it's a no-brainer for them to say, okay, I'm spending 5,000, but in the first year I'm getting a 50,000 return on investment, just by not having to make that one, not have to hire one more member of staff. And that does not include the actual recruitment fees, training fees, and all of that. So in your case, I think job postings would be like an easy one. But then you can also look for if there's like increased activity in like hiring, increase hiring activity, so they're hiring a lot of staff, then they might need automating the hiring process and the training process. So that's another thing you can look at. Also, if they're having a lot of sales, usually if they're having a lot of sales, it also creates new problems in terms of delivery, like coaching programs, for example. They want to track the delivery of their emails. They want to make sure everyone's getting all their information in time, getting their access in time. A lot of these things can be fully automated. We are doing this quite a lot in our own business as well. So that's an easy one. So any of these three triggers will give you an idea of, okay, I can target these particular businesses. And let's look at what else is there. Yeah, so the next part is building a simple offer that that you can put in front of them. This doesn't have to be on a website. It can be in a simple Google Doc. All it has to do is say who it is for. Let me include that as well. Who for, the problem it solves, so this is for coaches and consultants who have between 50 to 200 staff, and they are they're looking to reduce the hiring costs or something like that. We help these companies reduce their hiring costs by 50,000 on average or something like that. You don't have to put a number straight away, but having numbers makes it much more tangible for the person on the other side to understand what is the actual value you bring to the company. Then have a simple 3-step process, something that you can repeat for all clients. You say, like, first thing, we'll understand your business, understanding where your hiring is happening, where what are the tasks you're hiring, what are the things you're doing on a day-to-day basis, and identify a list of things that we can automate. Step 2, we do the implementation. We'll do, like blah, blah, blah. We'll use these tools and help you reduce your, number of hours that people in sales roles or marketing roles spend in XYZ task and posting on social media or whatever it is. And then the step 3 might be, okay, we'll launch everything. And then step 3 is we'll make sure for 2 weeks, we'll validate the process, make sure everything is working fine. And that way you have no risk of, having a system that doesn't work. We'll also train your staff to make sure that there's a smooth handover of all the systems. And that way, this will be a one-time investment that'll keep working for you, in the years to come, basically. And by doing this, you'll not have to hire more staff for this particular role, or you might save 50 hours of, staff, of manual labor per week. And that equates to around $50,000 per year in savings. The one-time fee is going to be $5,000. Is that a yes or a no? So simple, something like that. It can be a Loom video, or it can be a Google Doc that you can send to people. And then once you've done that, the next only thing left to do is to build a target list on LinkedIn, and send it to people in that list. So you want to make sure that these people are active on LinkedIn in the last 30 days they posted content, they have the exact job title, they belong to the industry that you're targeting. They are within that company's size that you're targeting. And then send them a message, say like, hey, I've seen you've posted a job for, marketing analyst or something in the last 30 days. I have a new way of either, not requiring this role or reducing the number of hours that your current team is already doing in such activities, and saving 50 hours per week or 20 hours per week. I have a new way of doing that. Mind if I share some more information on it? And if they say yes, then you can go back and send them your simple offer document, which is your sales asset. So you keep doing this over and over again until you get feedback. Each time you send it to people, they'll give you some feedback, what they like about it, what they don't like. If they don't give you feedback, you can just go and ask. You can say, hey, I understand if you're not interested, but do you mind giving me some feedback on like what would make this a no-brainer for you? And that's all you need to ask, and they would, come back with saying, okay, maybe the price point was too high, or we don't want this level of service. We want something a bit more. We want a bit less, and then you can tweak your offer and then keep improving from there. But these are the fundamental blocks of what you'll need to get this going. So yeah, hope this gives you clarity, and we can go from there. If you have any questions, reach out and ask on the group.